What's stress to a mind when you dealing with a broken heart?
This is for the ones that have been silenced. Let's turn them over.
That's the big, like, you know, with I mean, I know I said this last time. Think about that Spider-Man movie. They said with great power comes great responsibility, but the scriptures say with much is given, much is required. Because you have a beautiful body, because you have certain things that are, you know, a old homeboy made me feel really convicted by something one day. And there's a difference between conviction and condemnation. You know, conviction means you feel something is wrong and you want to change that. You know, condemnation means you are that wrongness and you can't change that. You understand what I'm saying? So conviction, when he said it, he was like, you know, we are young Black men, you know what I mean? And we are attractive to the opposite sex, you know what I'm saying? And some women like us, some women want to give us a chance. And for us to have that ability and to play girls to the side or say, you know, I'm just cooling right now. I don't really want a relationship. I just want the sex, the attention, what you can give me and stuff. And then I just move with that. And, you know,
yeah,
and
I think really what people don't understand about that, what you're saying right now, is that sex is so intimate. It doesn't matter how advertised it is. It's so intimate that when you have sex with someone, the essence of them stays with you for a couple days.
Absolutely.
And that's psychologically proven that at least for 72 hours, the essence, or maybe what I like to call it, the spirit, the essence of the spirit of that person is adhered to you for those couple of days. That's why they say, oh, women have a sixth sense. There's no sixth sense. We can smell, we can feel the presence of another person in your body. And that's the sixth sense. But it's not really a sixth sense. It's just when you love someone so much, you know every detail of what they do. And when the demeanor changes, you're like, well, this is weird. This didn't used to happen before. I mean, I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but it's in the list. I mean, hopefully he doesn't add any more stuff there. And then another one, you're like, okay, that's two. What are we going to do on the third one? And in the third one, just because I stayed with all that rage inside of me and I waited until the third one, now I'm screaming at you, do this, that. And they're like, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, give me your phone. I've seen it. Listen, I've third wheeled in my road to have to help with a couple that was fighting right in front of me, and well, safe to say I never third wheeled again. That is
well, I have a lot to say. A lot to say on this stuff.
Something that I wanted to say before you start, Lucky. Basically, what you said was quality of the intimacy is way much better than the quantity.
Yes.
That I actually agree with that 110%. So go ahead, Alex, your turn.
Yeah, I was just gonna say just probably there is probably a lot that I can provide as a knowledge on that question based on, you know, what like I said, which is totally right.
Don't come with your deep words. You have a girlfriend. You tell me how many times.
I'm going to. I'm just saying that it's I think from my point of view, it's not about how many times. It's about the chemistry that you have with your partner, and I definitely have a lot to cultivate on that matter, because I tend to lean a little bit more towards work a lot, and works takes that creativity and exhaust your mind. When you have an exhausted mind, you can take care of what creates that balance in your life, which is taking care of your partner, taking her out, doing great things for her. She's dedicating the same amount of time that you're dedicating to her. And I think it goes to that partnership that is created, that chemistry. I've been with my fiance for like 7 years now. We have a little baby girl now. She's like 9 months, and she's I think she's probably the only thing that have brought me joy in every possible moment that I look at her. It doesn't matter how, and you guys know about this. I'm not gonna say anything new, but that has definitely added a little bit more to the balance and kind of like level out the balance in our life. Obviously, I'm still I'm still pursuing a lot of things. I have a lot of flaws, but I think it's not only about the quantity, it's about that quality time that you spend with your partner that creates that momentum that makes you guys enjoy to the fullest. It could be one time of the week, but that one time, it's impressive, it's amazing, it's unforgettable. So that really creates the foundation of a relationship, and this is something that we all as men should aspire to create that balance and have a beautiful, healthy family and nucleus. And I'm a firm believer of one family, one nucleus. And I know you guys are way ahead on that stage. I'm going to do my best to keep it that way. But obviously, if it comes down to things that happen in life, they would happen, right? But right now, my main focus is to build a healthy and balanced relationship that can create a good place to grow old and to a little baby girl to grow and be happy. So a lot of the times, and this is something to me as a first time parent, I'm seeing is every time, I don't know if this is something common, but I know that my fiance, she takes care of her baby girl like she seems, she was on her belly, and it's amazing how you guys do it, but you guys do it. So a humongous amount of respect to that. I can imagine how it's go through the process.
Was
But
she
I see,
natural?
yes, and I was
God
there
bless.
for 6
Good
hours.
job.
Yeah, like again, it's a beautiful experience and a huge amount of respect for all the women out there that go through that process. It's incredible, painful, and beautiful at the same time. So back to my point, I see people looking at our baby girl and say, "Oh, she looks so beautiful. She's so happy. She's satisfied." And there is a reason for that, because she's very happy from the moment she gets up and to the moment that she goes to bed, right? And I want to keep that so much because I know that is going to create a beautiful mind that is going to change things, hopefully change the world. I don't know, but if you are on a space that you feel healthy and joyful and creative, you could do amazing things. It's unlimited, right? But it's all about having those specific foundations that goes all the way back to
That's
the
the
values that
word.
you're
Yep.
taught, the values that you're taught, and it's just a beautiful thing to keep. So that's my point of view. It's not about how many times. Although I'm gonna say, I was 17, I was 19 years old once, and things were very, very, very different back then. I
Yeah,
just
but we
wanted
can
to
talk about when we were like
exactly
17.
right.
That's too
So
much. Like our
so it's
hormones were all over the place. We didn't
they
even
might
know that we could have
right
like
right right
one day
right
and then not in a week and then
right
another time. No, for us it was every day if we could.
yeah, go to it. And yeah, I think the people that relate with our kind of like age range, I think that's what I can provide, and those are my kind of 2 cents.
I
Yeah.
like it. You know what I've discovered so far? I have many male acquaintances and friends, and I've never met them to like a personal level. I just find out I don't have a single douchebag as a friend. That's
Well, there must be a reason for it, right?
Adam, don't put that face. I don't think you're a douchebag. Everybody else could, but I don't. I know you.
So sex in many relationships today is a tool or a weapon in many relationships today. And that's okay, because sex has been a tool and a weapon since the beginning of mankind. Sex is a tool and a weapon between ducks and geese and snakes and giraffes. That's what sex is, and many times. I've had in recent years, I've had 5 girlfriends at the same time who all know each other, and I've been monogamous. So I've gone the whole gamut. And for me, my best relationships are ones where I know what needs I'm good at fulfilling. And they're not all the needs. And I also know what needs I need fulfilled. And one of the problems in relationships is that sometimes you can be really good at fulfilling needs of an individual, but they're bad at fulfilling one of your needs. And too often, I think sex gets flip-flopped between, is it a need or is it a want? If it becomes a want, then I think no one can fulfill your wants.
Yeah.
If it's a need for intimacy, if it's a need for orgasm, if it's a need for dominance or submissiveness, then I think you can find someone who can fulfill that, even not giving up of themselves. Like maybe your partner has a lower sex drive, but they still provide for you because you have a higher sex drive. The other thing is, I'm the oldest one here. I think I'm 50, almost 50. And I see in my own life how my sex drive fluctuates based on my hormones being focused on something else. Maybe it's stressful work. Maybe a friend is in need. When I was younger, I needed it often and from a great, number of providers. As I get older, I find that my needs are more for just intimacy in general. And the sex portion isn't as important. I think as you get older, I think the sex is best when you both feel sexy, really sexy. The sex is best when you both are celebrating something that you did as a couple, maybe in marriage or out of marriage. So I think the proper number to me isn't how many times a week do I want to have sex. I think a better view on it for me is how many times a week am I fulfilling this person's needs, and how many times a week is that person fulfilling my needs, and how many times a week am I not fulfilling their needs, and how many times a week are they not fulfilling my needs? And maybe sex is one of those, but it's just one. And if the numbers are off, then that relationship probably isn't going to last, and it's probably bad for both people. I have friends who need to do it 3 times a day as couples, and it sounds exhausting to me.
They probably still in the honeymoon phase.
No, they've been together 30 years. It sounds exhausting.
They got
I
problems.
every time they talk about it, I'm like, and they're not even really that good looking. So it's not about beauty. It's not about cosmetics. It's about, they have this hormonal high testosterone drive to want to take their clothes off for each other all the time. And I have a friend who hasn't had sex in probably 20 years, but him and his wife love each other more than anybody I've ever seen. But they just have very low sex drives, and they laugh about it. They laugh about it, how they say, what's it been now, 19 years, 18 years, 20 years? But they don't really care, because in their relationship, and they're not old, in their relationship, all the other needs are met so well that sex isn't really expressed through the relationship. So I would say, for me, if I'm really hot for a person, daily would be great. But if it's a comfortable relationship that you've been in 15, 20 years, man, the bills got to get paid. The yard's got to get mowed. We got to paint the basement.
Yeah.
And someone didn't do the laundry. It changes. Like if you're single, if you're single, you're having a lot more sex than if you're in a long-term relationship, probably.
But you know what I've learned from you guys so far, and this is amazing because I'm learning too. I was kind of like curious about what the girls asked, because I was like, I want to know, because maybe I want to put it in practice here. But but I was like, it's not what I expected. You guys just came out and flipped the script on me. You guys just came out saying it's not even about the quantity of times, it's about the quality, the foundation, the connection that's there. And that's something that I don't hear a lot of men say, that like they don't express themselves like that. For a lot of ladies to see that it's not even about the quantity, you don't have to go outside and expose yourself and like just sell like a, you know, there's some women that go there, they don't even have spouses, but they go outside exposed because they're trying to find something quick, you know, and so there's that type of personality too. But when it comes to a relationship, the fact that you guys said that substance and foundation is more important than the quantity of times, that is very eye-opening, at least for me. I'm not sure for the ladies that will listen to this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be impactful for them because they asked me that question. I know Adam has to go.
You gotta go, guys.
Slide, but I want one last question before you go. Last question. You told me the two things that would give you more fulfillment. That was the one that impacted me the most, was the one about having trustworthy people by your side.
Yeah.
So what is it that you can change right now to achieve that? What is something that you may feel like you're doing wrong and you can change to be able to welcome these trustworthy people?
So I think most people who know me online and in person both will say that I'm brutally honest, online and in person. I think I need to be even more. I think I still think of people's feelings a little too much when they ask me for a truth. And I think I need to be, and you had made a comment about money, and me making a lot of money helps because you can't cancel. I mean, you have no idea how many passive incomes I have. In order to trust somebody, I have to know that they're going to react the same way naturally. And in order for them to trust me, they need to know that I will act the same way, react the same way naturally. And I think too often we still mold ourselves in hopes that people will like us, in hopes that people will agree with us. So we lie a little bit.
Yeah.
And my truths are so brutal. My responses to people are so brutal, so offensive sometimes. I mean, actresses ask me, "Can I be a model?" And I say, "Well, no, you're way too fat. You can't. I'm sorry that Hollywood has 3 fat girls. You ain't going to be number 4." So I'm brutal about it because I want to save them from wasting their lives. Everybody who asks me for truths. But sometimes I still amend my opinion so that I don't become too offensive or become too contrarian or become too analyzing. So if I want to have more mutually trusted relationships, I need to be more honest, even more honest.
Okay, I like that. And Adam, just letting you know, one of the reasons I value you is because of your brutal honesty. So don't change that. And
it's
if you feel that you need to be more
Keep doing it.
honest, please do. That's just gonna make me like you more. Please be safe.
Thank you, guys.
Have a nice rest and see you next time.
Thank you, Lucky. And Alex, it was good meeting you.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some stuff, Adam. Definitely.
Do that, Lucky. I'd like to see that
in the inbox. Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
Piggyback off of some stuff and Adam was saying, but you see how it came full circle. And I believe it becomes that way because, you know, like I said, like I started with, sex is too easily given in our society, is too upfront. Yep. So now you have men who actually value loyalty, time. Like, what else can you do? What else can you provide? Like Adam was saying, there's other things, the other avenues to make men happy. You know what I mean? Because if it's just the sex, it's like everywhere. So it's like there's no plus button when it comes to it. You know, there's nothing else.
Well, this is the thing, Lucky. I heard someone say this once, and it made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense when it comes to the flesh. If you don't have a God and your God is your flesh and your flesh commands you to do stuff, there's this advice. It wasn't an advice, it was a statement, and the statement was so freaking logical. So it even, like, I had a brain fart in that time. The person said, women turn gay to find an emotional connection. Men turn gay to have more opportunities to have sex. And it just blew my mind, because I was like, do you know how many times I've heard men joking around and they say a hoe is a hoe? And you're like, you better rephrase yourself, sir, because that can be used against you in the future. Like,
yeah, but I guess if somebody was desperate enough like that, it could make sense. I don't get that. Like, that's
listen.
crazy,
when men turn gay, and what's the first thing that they do? They become really sexual. Like, they're like, this girl over here, girl, come here, let's go. Oh, we gonna do all this. Girl, you a bitch. Look at this. You know, they all over the place with their sexuality. It's all about sex. And I'm not talking about all the gay people. I'm talking about certain men that were very masculine, and then out of nowhere, they just came out of the closet. And some people would tell me, hey, well, maybe it was because he wanted to have more opportunities. Because, you know, some women, no, not some women, to be honest, all of us are looking for a high status man. And status,
that's a fact.
It's not always about work. It can be it can be spiritual. Like, you can have this high bar of your standards when it comes to your spirituality. That is attractive for some women. It depends what kind of woman are you trying to attract. If you're trying to attract a woman that will be there for you in your lowest and not give up on you, you want to be able to not just abstain of the flesh desires, to be able to see that, because you have sex, your eyes get blind, you just see the beauty, you just see all the peaches and cream, and you just completely dismiss all the bad things that could happen in the future, because you're so posignatized. So if you're posignatized, it's possible that you don't move on from there for a little time. Then one day it's going to become more of everything. And what happens after that? Somebody gets hurt, and it's always the women. And they're like, oh no, all men are the same. It's not that all men are the same. It's just that you put yourself out there, and some takers don't have limits. They just take.
Right.
So you gotta be careful what you put out there.
Assalamu alaikum on a different behavior, because I know I'm a sinner. Because I know I'm a sinner. I could be Will, I could be Chris, I could be Still, I could be Push, I could be Healed. In order to look, you gotta be filled with all of his book.
What's stress to a mind?
So now if I say I'm in love, it just look like I'm crazy.
Fire burning your soul.
When Kevin Gates say we supposed to be in love, it just look like he wavy.
I can't no more.
Can't judge their lifestyle. I've had 3 children. Unright behavior.